Once upon a time, Pizza Hut wasn't just a pizza chain. It was the pizza chain. The red-roofed icon, the Friday night ritual, the place where families went for all-you-can-eat slices and questionable soft serve. In the 80s and 90s, it was a cultural event. Going to Pizza Hut meant something. Birthday parties, school rewards, footy wins. It was where childhood memories were soaked in grease and nostalgia. But in 2025, it's more like the ghost of pizza's past. Over the last 2 decades, Pizza Hut in Australia has gone from undisputed champion to a brand that's constantly in search of a comeback headline. Store closures, franchise drama, a shrinking footprint. And all while Domino's, the chain once considered the backup plan, went full tech startup and essentially ate their market share slice by slice. So what happened? How does a brand go from top dog to underdog? And is there still time to flip the script? Let's rewind. Back in the 80s and early 2000s, Pizza Hut dominated Australia's pizza landscape. There were over 300 dine-in locations nationwide, plus a growing number of takeout and delivery-only stores. And the dine-in model worked. Families loved the experience. The retro booths, the cheesy bread, the weirdly exciting salad bar that no one actually used, but everyone liked knowing was there. Pizza Hut was everywhere. It was the fast food chain that felt like a night out. But the very thing that made Pizza Hut successful, the dine-in model, eventually turned into a weight around its neck. As consumer habits changed, Australians stopped wanting to sit down under fluorescent lighting to eat pizza. They wanted convenience, delivery, click-and-go experiences. Pizza Hut was built for a different era, and instead of pivoting early, it hesitated. Meanwhile, Domino's, the once overlooked competitor, quietly built a delivery-first machine. In the early 2000s, Domino's had fewer than 200 stores in Australia. It was still figuring itself out. But behind the scenes, it was laying the groundwork for one of the most aggressive and successful transformations in Aussie fast food history. While Pizza Hut clung to nostalgia, Domino's went full Silicon Valley. They invested in online ordering before it was trendy. They created GPS tracking so you could watch your pizza inch down the street. They gamified loyalty rewards. They launched voice assistants, AI delivery forecasting, and even drone trials. And they made sure that when you wanted a pizza, it took under 30 seconds to order and under 25 minutes to arrive. Pizza Hut, by comparison, was still asking you to call them. And that gap widened quickly. Between 2005 and 2020, Domino's store count exploded. By 2023, they were pushing past 720 locations across Australia and New Zealand. Pizza Hut, meanwhile, had contracted, now down to an estimated 250 stores, and with the dine-in model largely phased out or irrelevant. But it wasn't just Domino's they were losing to. The whole market evolved around them. Gourmet pizza chains like Crust and Pizza Capers emerged, offering higher-end ingredients, more premium branding, and unique topping combos. Even mainstream burger chains like Grilled began adding flatbread pizzas to their menus. Add in the explosion of delivery platforms like Uber Eats, DoorDash, and Menulog, and suddenly Australians had hundreds of ways to get pizza without ever thinking of Pizza Hut. The result? Pizza Hut wasn't competing in one race, it was losing 3 simultaneously. Too slow for Domino's, not premium enough for gourmet chains, and not digitally savvy enough for the on-demand crowd. And if that wasn't enough, Pizza Hut's own internal structure was a mess. In 2016, Yum Brands, the American parent company behind Pizza Hut, KFC, and Taco Bell, sold its Australian Pizza Hut operations to a private equity firm, Allegro Funds. That handover triggered a wave of restructuring, including dozens of store closures and an overhaul of franchise agreements. Some franchisees jumped ship entirely, converting their stores to Domino's or going independent. Then in 2021, Pizza Hut changed hands again, this time to Fortress Investment Group. New owners, new promises, same problems. Every few years, a new press release would land claiming a bold rebrand or digital revamp was coming soon. But by then, Domino's wasn't waiting around. It had already embedded data into every layer of its operation. store placement, menu design, delivery routes, even staffing schedules, all optimized by analytics. Domino's wasn't running a food chain anymore. It was running a logistics empire that happened to sell circular bread with toppings. Pizza Hut, on the other hand, was still chasing yesterday's innovations. By the time they started revamping their mobile app and loyalty program in the early 2000s and 20s, Domino's customers had already become used to features like heat tracking delivery bags, order accuracy guarantees, and real-time SMS updates. To make things worse, Pizza Hut's brand identity got muddy. Were they fast food? Were they family dining? Were they competing on price or quality? At least Domino's was clear. Cheap, fast, and tech-driven pizza. No confusion. But to give credit where it's due, Pizza Hut didn't tap out. Under Fortress Investment Group, the chain launched a series of fresh branding efforts. They brought back the retro logo. They leaned into nostalgic marketing. They pushed value pricing and launched premium crust options. They even introduced plant-based toppings and collaborated with Australian snack brands for viral dessert pizzas. And believe it or not, they've actually started opening new locations again. Select metro areas have seen Pizza Hut pop-ups with modern branding and digital-first ordering systems. The app is cleaner, the deals are sharper, the menu has expanded. On paper, it looks like a company trying to get back in the game. But here's the catch. Domino's hasn't slowed down. Because it's not really a fair fight anymore. Domino's controls so much of its tech stack, supply chain, and marketing engine that it can undercut Pizza Hut on cost and still dominate customer experience. Their delivery fleet is more efficient, their data modeling is more advanced, and their digital loyalty ecosystem has basically turned every customer into a repeat buyer with a point to prove. Pizza Hut can copy the strategy, but not the infrastructure. At least not yet. So where does that leave them? Ironically, Pizza Hut's biggest asset right now might be its past. Brand recognition is still incredibly strong. There's a whole generation of Australians who grew up with Pizza Hut as their go-to. There's a weird fondness for the dine-in era, the red plastic cups, the jingle, the buffet, even if no one actually wants to go back to it. If Pizza Hut can tap into that nostalgia without being stuck in it, they might have a path forward. Make the brand feel familiar, but the service feel modern. Lean into charm while closing the tech gap. Own the middle ground between Domino's efficiency and crust's premium positioning. But here's the truth. It's an uphill climb. Domino's isn't just a pizza brand, it's a tech-driven growth machine that learned how to scale fast, pivot quickly, and create a delivery-first empire. Pizza Hut, by contrast, is still learning how to be lean in a market that punishes hesitation. Still, the fact that Pizza Hut's no longer hemorrhaging stores is progress. The fact that they're finally investing in the right areas, digital, UX, loyalty, menu variety, suggests the battle isn't over. But the question remains, is this a comeback story or a brand clinging to a memory? If Pizza Hut wants to make it back to the top, it's going to take more than rebrands and TikTok ads. It's going to take a complete rethinking of what the modern Australian pizza customer wants and delivering it faster, cheaper, and better than before. Because at the end of the day, this isn't a pizza war, it's a platform war, and only one of these chains is playing like a tech company. But what do you think? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below and let's discuss. And if you enjoyed this story, give us a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and don't forget to ring that bell so you never miss out on more deep dives like this. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, stay curious.